Hello everybody, and welcome to a Vintage Cube Draft. Pretty solid pack to start. Fetch Land is probably my second pick in the pack, but I'm going to take the One Ring. This card is just absurdly strong. It goes in pretty much any deck. You do need to worry about the life loss a little bit, like either have some life gain or somewhat of a clock and whatnot, but just a phenomenal, very, very powerful card. Worth noting that this is a elimination draft, so our games will be against all of the wonderful people in our draft here. Oh wow. Whew, this pack is very good. So, the cards I'm really deciding between are Fourth Air Lingus and Orcish Bowmasters, which are both just phenomenal cards. Tameo is also quite strong. I'd be pretty happy second picking Tameo here. It's kind of nice with the ring too, or at least the ring makes it easy to flip the Tameo. But I think these two cards are better. Orcish Bowmasters is very good against the ring, so there is, because we're going to be playing against the people in this pod, there is some consideration to hate drafting that. But I think Fourth Air Lingus is just still so good that we have to take it. I mean, Orcish Bowmasters is amazing, and if you already have draw 7 combos with it, then this is probably better. But just overall, I think this is probably the more powerful card. And then we'll just play around Orcish Bowmasters to the extent that we can. Yeah, I think Fourth Air Lingus is too good to pass here, but it is pretty painful to be passing that Orc. Okay, I think I'll just take a Sunbaked Canyon here. Not super exciting, but it is good. The life loss is a bit awkward with the One Ring, but Boros both generally has a pretty fast clock and also plenty of sources of life gain, so I'm not too worried about the life loss. The other best consideration here would be Smuggler's Copter, which is really strong. I like this card quite a bit. Also, it gives us 3 things that are good for using colorless mana, so that makes off-color Moxen and stuff like that better. Not that we have that at the moment, but Ancient Tomb too would play well with all the cards that we have. I think we should still just take the Canyon though. Yeah, sorry, Smuggler's Copter. Alright, couple solid picks here. I think I'm just going to take an Unholy Heat though. Figure of Destiny and Lion's Ash are both decent cheap threats, but they're not that exciting, and Unholy Heat is an excellent removal spell. A lot of black we're seeing going around, so if we take an Orc, we could take Dark Confidant and be in on some of these cheap, powerful black threats, but pretty happy to take an Unholy Heat here. Interesting. So the most obvious pick would just be taking Skyclave Apparition here, which is a great card. Powerful, interactive, just does a lot of the stuff you want to be doing in this format. Could also take Dak Faden, which is pretty strong, and seeing it go this late is a bit of a sign. That puts us into a third color. It's pretty close. I do like this card quite a bit. Also just love Jeskai, but that's, we're here to win. We're playing to win, not just for what we like, but I do like Dak Faden a lot. There's also Talisman of Progress, which is good in a Jeskai build. Don't think I'm interested in Sword of the Meek. I do like that in some builds where you have Stoneforge. I'm going to speculate on the Dak. Skyclave Apparition is good, but it's not essential. And Dak is great. Oh, wow. Okay, well, now we have Thundering Falls and Bloodstained Mire, 2 excellent pieces of fixing. But I think we got to take the Lightning Bolt here. This card is just it's Lightning Bolt. When you see it, you take it if you're playing red. Alright. Don't think I'm that interested in Time Warp. We might not even play blue. We'll see. I'll check a Prismatic Ending here. Not a particularly exciting card, but it is pretty good. And now I'll note, Boros is typically thought of as an aggressive color combination, and we could end up being aggressive. But at this point, we have 2 really powerful card advantage engines plus 3 cheap removal spells. So we could be some sort of more mid-range or controlling build, depending on how the rest of the draft develops. Okay, pretty happy to get Ophelia here. We don't have that many combos with it yet, but it is kind of nice with the One Ring. If you get too many counters on this and it's dealing 4 or 5 a turn, you can reset it with Ophelia. But it is also just a great card. Very, very strong. You don't need that many synergies to make it good. It can just clear blockers or opposing tokens. I do like City of Traders. It would be pretty good here, and I would take it over a replacement level 2 drop. But I would say Ophelia is probably one of the top tier 2 drops. It's up there with Ajani and Stoneforge. Wow, okay, so a lot of blue stuff here. Do we want to try to play blue or just take Reprieve? I honestly think I'm going to take Reprieve. Dak Faden's good, but it's not essential. If we get, Time Walk, then maybe we'll try to really make it work. But Reprieve is very strong, especially when we already have Ophelia. I like having multiple instant speed plays, so we can hold up Reprieve or Ophelia, and it just makes it harder for our opponent to play around stuff. If they see a Reprieve, they might play around it, but then we were actually holding up Ophelia. You just get a little bit of equity. And that sort of thing. Alright, pretty bad pack for us here. I guess I'll take a Leyline Binding. Not thrilled about it. Could also take... I don't think we're ever playing Epicure. We could maybe take, like, Horizon Canopy for a possible Minsc and Boost Splash, although I don't love having multiple Pain Lands. I'm just going to take this, though. Like, it's not that exciting, but I think it is the pick. Another pack that's not that exciting. I guess I'll just take the card on color. I mean, Tireless Tracker is a lot stronger, but this is like playable. I don't know. I'm not too excited about that card. I am pretty excited about Alliance Sash though. May or may not be in the main deck, but it's at least a good sideboard card against Reanimator. Oh wow. Okay, so Skyclave Wield. I think we're more and more likely to just be Boros, but we ended up missing out on nothing by taking the deck. That's kind of cool. I think we take... I mean, actually, I'll definitely take Jetmir's Garden. Good Boros fixing, and also possibly enables a Minsc and Boost Splash. So good first pack. I like our removal suite a lot. We have some fixing. We have some just high card quality. Main thing we're looking for is just like more high card quality. Palace Jailer getting more of a Monarch theme would be nice. I think I'm just going to take a fetch land here. Chainsaw is good if we get Stoneforge. Having a nice little, Stoneforge, Lion Sash package is solid. Witch Enchanter is pretty good. This is like we have Dak at home. Actually, maybe this is even just like as good as Dak. But yeah, I'm just going to take the fetch land here and then probably wheel one of these red cards. Okay, interesting pack. I like Dragon's Rage Channeler and Oust. There's also 2 pieces of fixing though. I think I'm just going to take a fetch, honestly. I don't have a Surveil land yet. Would really, really like to see a Boros Surveil land when we have multiple fetches. But yeah, I think this is what we want to take. And then it's better than Sunbillow Verge, I think. Granted, this is an untapped land on turn 1. We don't have a plateau yet, but I think fetches are still where we want to be. And then, yeah, if we could wheel any of these 3 cards, that would be great. I don't love that they're all in kind of different colors. Typically... If you're playing 2 colors, there's 3 red cards, 1 white card. You take the white card and know you're going to wheel a red card. But in this case, the cards that we want are all sort of different colors, so there's a chance we don't get anything back, but still, pretty happy to get the fetch. Ooh, do we take another fetch, or do we take one of these 2 white cards? They're both really good. Guide of Souls is pretty busted in the right build. This isn't necessarily the right build, though, or at least we're kind of light on creatures at the moment, and we don't have Ocelot Pride. Honestly, I'm going to take another fetch. I know it's a little weird. I think we've just taken 3 fetches in a row to start this pack. I might be undervaluing Guide of Souls. I mean, this card can be absurd for sure. And it probably won't come around. But I think we just take the Arid Mason and Will of Glimmerlands and are pretty happy with that. Really hoping to find Flage at this point. When we have multiple fetches, we're going to fill up our graveyard pretty quickly. Okay, Great Sea Giver of Runes. I'll definitely be taking that here. Powerful, cheap card. We could take Reese Wrench Goblin and then we'll get lost. Versus if we take Giver, we probably will nothing. Maybe this comes around actually. But I think this is just like so good that we do want to be taking it here. Okay. Lurrus is interesting, but I like both these cards. I don't think we're going to do that. Suplex is an okay removal spell. Don't really need Fabled Passage if we have better fetches. Karizev is pretty mid. I think I'm just going to take Arena of Glory here, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I would much rather wheel Suplex than Karizev. Maybe Karizev would still be playable, but I'll take the Arena. And now we just really, really want to find Flage. Flage would be a phenomenal pickup now. All right, I'll take a Cloud. It's like a Stoneforge Mystic. We have 1 equipment to find. We passed a Chainsaw and a Lions, and a, I forget what it's called. The 2 mana white equipment. Both of at least one of those should be coming around probably. So yeah, I'll take this. A lot of red stuff in the pack. Maybe we could wheel a Magda, but Cloud is pretty nice. Nice. We do see a Flage. Staff of the Storyteller is good, but I'm definitely taking Flage when we have 3 fetch lands. That's a phenomenal pickup. First pack that's kind of a brick. I think I'll speculate on the Thornspire Verge. I'm not that interested in Gold Band Dragon. I honestly think this card is just pretty bad. Yeah, there's not that many decks that get to 5 mana and need a lot more. It's good with specifically Time Walk. You just go play it, attack, crack your treasure for 2 mana, play Time Walk, then untap again and win. But I think this card is pretty bad, honestly. I'll just take the land. Chainsaw Wield, nice. Kellen and Witch Enchanter are pretty good, but if I didn't have... I would probably take Witch Enchanter if I didn't have Cloud already, but when we have Cloud, I think that does mean Chainsaw is worth taking. Also, shout out to Guy's Cradle. This is a card we could play in some builds, but we're a little creature light. We do have, like, some mana sinks at the top of the curve, but I think Chainsaw is pretty nice when we already have Cloud. Alright, Sunbill or Verge Wield. Our fixing is looking phenomenal. Glimmerlens also Wield. There's a Braid too, and I do like a Braid, but I think I'm still taking the Glimmerlens and just having like a good equipment package. And then hopefully we can get Stoneforge too. Get Lost Wield, sweet. Satya is kind of interesting. It's very good with cards like Palace Jailer, okay with Skyclave Apparition, but we didn't take the Guide of Souls, so we're not going to have like that much energy. I'll just take the removal spell. Suplex Wield, nice. Especially after we passed a Braid, then we get the other Braid. Magda, sure. Alright, so good pack. It definitely filled in some of the gaps. Our curve is a little wonky. We're very heavy on 2s with not enough 1-drops, so best case scenario by a lot is getting a Mox. This is the kind of deck where, I mean, a Mox is good in every deck, but it's especially good when your curve looks like this. And then secondly, just trying to fill out more 1-drops. I mean, we passed Guide of Souls, but getting like, Thraben Inspector, that sort of thing. Oh, wow. Well, I'll take a Mana Crypt. That is pretty excellent. It does deal damage, but so that's a little bit of an anti-combo with the 1 ring, but still, very, very good pickup. Yeah, that's awesome. Probably not going to be wheeling much. I would love Ancient Tomb, but I don't think that's likely to come around. Maybe we could get a Firebolt. But yeah, we'll take that Mana Crypt very happily. Now we see another Fetch, Talisman, Dismember, and Graveyard Hate. I think I'm honestly going to take the Fetch in our Flage deck. And now, if we could get the Boros Surveil Land, that would just be such a massive upgrade. Like, short of a Mox, that's probably the best thing we could get at this point. But yeah, I'll take Fetch number 4. Kind of an interesting pack. So there's more fixing, but our fixing is excellent at this point. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, a fetchable land that's not tapped would be great, but I don't need Inspiring Vantage. We could take Loran or Overlord of the Mistmoors, both of which are fine. Overlord in particular is very good with Ophelia. Yeah, I think I like taking the Overlord here. Yeah, I'll take this. Still holding out hope for the Plateau. Alright. Couple okay cards here. I'm just going to take a Lutri. It's pretty free. Nothing else in the pack is that essential, so I'll take it. Flame Slash is pretty nice. Don't think we're worried about blue fixing. Cauldra is pretty bad, even if we had Stoneforge, and the Stoneforge we have does not work with Cauldra. So I'll just take the cheap removal spell. We got a couple removal spells in pack 1, but really didn't get much in pack 2, so I like getting one more. I guess we have 6 removal spells, plus, yeah, never mind. We're pretty much good on removal. Just really, really hoping to get Plateau and or whatever that Surveil Land is called. Alright, pretty good pack here. We don't have any black lands at the moment. This is a card, I mean, with so many fetches, one black land would make this card pretty free. To have the Gentleman's Rise, half of them. I think I'm going to take Containment Priest. We don't have much graveyard hate. I guess we have Lion Sash. These are both pretty good. This is more generically powerful, but we also have Felia plus Containment Priest. I think I'm going to take the Priest, but it is pretty close. Okay, now we have Legion Extruder is good with the 1 ring, but not that much else that we have. For curve purposes, I like Descendant of Storms, but Flicker Wisp works really well with the Overlord. Could also take Oliphant and then just try to wheel one of the 2 white cards. Or even take Fire Covenant and try to splash black, but I don't think that's really the direction we're going to be going here. Oliphant just isn't that good when we have all these fetches. I'm just going to take the Flicker Wisp. Descendant of Storms is fine, but not that exciting. Oh, wow. Minsk and Boo. That's a super late Minsk and Boo. There's also Jite, which would be nice, but I think we just take the Minsk and Boo and splash green now. So we didn't end up getting... Well, we have the Jetmir's Garden, so that's fine. All right, I'll take a Firebolt now. Pretty nice. Or actually, wait, do we want to take Copperline Gorge? Yeah, I think we're honestly going to be fine on cheap removal. So I'll just take a bit more fixing. Alright, probably not playing Talisman. So now let's get these green lands in here. And our green fixing is pretty much free, so we can just play this Minsk and Boo without having to worry about it too much. Don't think I really care about Death Greeter's Champion. We wield the Inspiring Vantage, which I will take over Knight of the Reliquary. Wow, so 12 lands. We could just play Field of the Dead and grindy matchups. I'm not going to play it in the main deck, just because it's a pretty underpowered card, but nice to have access to. Interesting. So I kind of want to hate draft Uro. This card's pretty good against us. And Static Prison is kind of mid, but I'll take the Prison. It's a card that we can actually play, you know. I don't think we're ever playing blue without a fetchable, so I'll just take this. Mind Collapse, sure. Alright, so I really, really wish that we'd found a better suite of fetchables. Just having, like, our only fetchable land be this Jetmir's Garden. It's good for playing Minsk and Boo, but it means we don't have ways to get an untapped land on turn 1. With that said, our curve is pretty... Like, we don't have that many 1-drops. If we had Ragavan, Mother of Runes, that sort of thing, then having to fetch a tap land on turn 1 is pretty devastating. But with this curve, it's not. How big of a problem is that? We'll see. I mean, I think this deck is pretty... Like, our top end is incredibly busted. Like, Minsk and Boo, the One Ring, 4th Air Lingus just completely win the game. We have a good suite of cheap removal to complement that plan. And then just, like, you know, kind of a grab bag of 2-drops that are mid. Like, Felly is amazing. The other 2-drops are, like, only okay. But this is the kind of deck where we're just relying on, like, consistency, powerful top end, powerful cheap interaction. And then just, like, have some plays in the middle of the curve to plug that gap. Don't think I care that much about Death Greeter's Champion. Leyline Binding will be 3 mana, like instant speed Oblivion Ring most of the time. It's pretty good, but not that exciting. We'll go to the deck building phase. Alright, so the question is, are we playing Death Greeter's Champion, Mind Collapse, or Leyline Binding over any of the stuff in this deck? I think, so I guess the cards on the chopping block potentially are Get Lost, Static Prison. I think I do want to play Lion Sash in the main. I think I'm just going to run like this, honestly. These cards are all fine, but not that exciting. Maybe I'm underrating Death Greeter's Champion. I don't think so, though, and I think 16 does seem appropriate. I like that we have the Arena of Glory plus Flage combo. Probably just going to play 2-2. Because we're only playing the 1 green card. Oh, we're actually way heavier on white than I had realized. So, 9 versus 15. So this gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 white. That's fine, honestly. Don't really want to go lower. Could maybe do 12, but 11's fine. Then for red, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, okay. I mean, our fixing is just great. That's going to happen when you have this many fetches. And then for green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's definitely fine. Don't need to play basic forest. There could be situations where, like, Minsk and Boo is delayed for a turn because our only green source is tapped. But I think this is still the way we want to run it. Yeah, looks pretty sweet. Little Naya beatdown with the 1 ring and 4th Air Lingus and Flage, Minsk and Boo. Got all the hits. And I'll see you in round 1. On the play for round 1 against Mr. Gaines. Excellent username. Calling this like Boros mid-range, not Boros aggro, although this hand looks kind of aggressive and is definitely a keep. The kind of hand that's much better on the play because we have basically no removal, and you could kind of count Skyclave as removal. But like when you're on the play and you have a curve of cheap threats, they're responding to you, and there's definitely a hand where like we want them to be responding to us, not the other way around. So pretty happy to lead on the giver here and pass turn. The way that elimination drafts often work is the first match is kind of a mirror match because we're paired against someone that's sitting on the other side of the table, and so like generally that means you just have like the most similar cards. Like the people that on either side of us, I was cutting these Boros cards, so no one that was like right adjacent to us would be taking them. Okay, I'm just gonna play Magda and pass turn. Sometimes I like to get in with the giver, but this is a little bit less aggressive of a deck, so the one damage, like, we're not going to be, like, aggressively trying to burn them out as much. And then secondly, we have a high value threat that we want to be able to set up. Okay, opponent has Vampire Tutor. This suggests they may be playing a combo deck, but if they have Reanimator, then we have turn 3 Lion Sash activation up with Giver of Runes to protect it. So we could get wrecked if they just go, like, Entomb, Reanimated Traxa. Like, not much we can do about that, even when we're on the play. But if we get even one more turn to prepare, we have a pretty effective way to deal with our graveyard. Saw a couple artifacts like Soul Guide Lantern going around and didn't get them, so we only have one piece of graveyard hate. Although I guess we also have Containment Priest. Interesting, okay. Well, let's start by getting in for 2. Okay. They discard Archon, but we have the answer. This is why we want to attack first. If they block, I will save my thing. And now we'll play out the Lion Sash. I'm just going to main phase this, honestly. Like, just don't want to mess around with anything. I mean, with the treasure up, like, we can kind of beat Shallow Grave, but, like, we'll just get the Archon out of here. And now we'll see. I mean, if they have, like, if they have Toxic Deluge, the game goes on. But if they don't have a board sweeper here, even if they have one spell removal spell, we're in great shape. I guess they could just kill the Lion Sash and set up for another combo, which is the argument for just letting our Magda die. Keeping this around does seem pretty good. Like, I don't want to just, like, a common thing you can run into if you're playing against a combo deck really aggressively. Bummer. Well, yeah, that resolves. But if you're playing 2, like, just trying to stop their combo, you don't actually pressure them. Ooh, okay, I was going to grab Blue Tree, but having drawn that, we'll just jam. Kind of a perfect top deck. I mean, the One Ring might have been better, or like 4th Air Lingus, but Overlord was excellent. Whoa. Okay. I think I'm just going to put nothing into play, honestly. Well, that's pretty good. Cycle this. Static Prison! That's an answer. Oh my god. It might not be enough, but it could. So that's why we did not discard or put the Jetmir's Garden into play. I guess maybe we would have wanted to put Skyclave into play just to have the 2 extra damage. Pretty funny situation. I don't want to go to 15, but I'm fine taking 1 damage. Okay, they reanimate Magda. That's fine. We can Skyclave that. So we'll say yes. Cast Skyclave Apparition. Is this? Oh, actually, if we targeted Magda, then we would get the dude if this leaves play. I don't know if that's gonna matter, but I guess it could. And then I'll just grab. Well, no, I'm just gonna pass. I just can't imagine a world where Lutri matters here, and there is a world where having the treasure token matters, although not really. I mean, it's another permanent sack to an Emrakul trigger, but like, I mean, we're hopefully just gonna kill them here, and we do. All right, weird game, but they had to set up for the Archon, had the Lion Sash, then. Finding the Static Prison there was awesome. I think I like bringing in Leyline Binding. They probably aren't going to have great ways to remove it, and also as an answer to their Emrakul. Containment Priest looks great. Some of the burn spells might be kind of weak. I think Prismatic Ending is fine. Flage honestly looks kind of weak as well. This is a spot where we're probably just never searching for Chainsaw. Like, we're almost always going to be getting Lion Sash. I'll keep Glimmerland as well, but that seems like a fine exchange. And then Death Greeter's Champion is probably going to be better than, like, Flame Slash. Get Lost I don't love, but, like, there could be a world where killing an Archon is enough. Yeah, let's run it like this. Very funny first game. Also pretty satisfying. Let's reveal this Lutri. Oof. This hand is probably a mulligan. Yeah, 5 lands is just too... I mean, I don't like mulliganing against black decks, but I think that is still correct here. Alright, I'll keep this and put back the Skyclave, I think. Didn't see a ton that it's good against, and the rest of this hand just curves out very well. Ooh. Okay. Fourth Airlingus can outpace the Library of Alexandria. Pretty similar curve to last game. So I think I'm just going to play Fourth Airlingus for 1 next turn. If they tap out, at least. If they leave up Counterspell mana, maybe not. We haven't seen Counter Magic, but it's certainly something they could have. But I do want to get the Monarchy going as soon as possible because we don't have any ways to interact with our combo yet. And, like, you can sort of think of this as a slow card advantage engine. And so the earlier you get it going, the more opportunity you have to dig for, you know, Lion Sash or Containment Priest or something of that nature. If they play Show and Tell, that could be bad. Okay, so we're 1 mana short of being able to get Delirium here. Or 1 card type short. Let's sack this and discard... I mean, how are we winning if we discard this? I mean, I think we have to, though. That puts 2 card types in the graveyard. This gives us a 3rd, and then we need to find... Like, if we had a Surveil land, we would be in much better shape here. I don't even know what we could draw here. There's definitely no way we beat them just untapping with this. Felia. I mean, honestly, we're just dead, right? Like, I don't think we can win from this position. We'll just go to a quick game 3. It's annoying to be playing against them, especially when most of our removal is red-based. If we had Swords of Plowshares, it would be a lot better. I think I'm just going to run it back. My Kingdom for a Containment Priest. Ooh. This hand is pretty dicey. We don't have a 1 or 2 mana threat, and we don't have a hate card. I mean, we could just try to go like turn 3, 4th Airlingus. Like, these are both really powerful cards. Oh, man. This is good when we're behind. I think I'm going to keep it. Without the Static Prison, we probably can't keep it. We just have, like, if we draw a land or a cheap threat, then this hand's fine. Even if we brick on our 3rd land, but we draw a 2-drop, we can cast our 2-drop on turn 2 and then play 4th Airlingus on turn 3. Okay, sure. Really wish I had a threat to play on turn 2, but just playing 4th Airlingus on turn 3 is something. And then with the Static Prison again, we're not as soft to them just, like, playing Show and Tell. If we play 4th Airlingus for 1 and they have a Fatal Push, that's pretty bad. Think we're still just gonna go for it though. I mean, just playing draw go it feels like it just can't be the right move here. If they do just go like draw then fatal push, that's really bad for us. But okay, we get to hit with the Monarch. This is fine now. I mean, we're both drawing 2 cards a turn, but they have to spend a mana for it. And we have a good follow up with Minsc and Boo here. If they have the combo, we have Static Prison. So I think we're honestly in pretty good shape. Definitely wouldn't say it's over, but I think we're a little ahead. I'm pretty sure Show and Tell only lets you put like creatures, artifacts, and enchantments into play or something. I don't think we could put Minsc and Boo into play. If they play the Show and Tell, we'd probably just want to go for. If we put Static Prison into play, it means we can also play Minsc and Boo, but it also means we have to pay an energy on our turn. And without any way to replenish the energy, that's probably bad. So I think what I would do is just put a Plains into play and then hope we draw land, which would mean we can go Minsc and Boo plus Static Prison. But even if we don't, then I think we would just go like Static Prison, Lutri, or something. And when we have Bolt, getting Lutri in hand is not bad. That's all also assuming they just have Show and Tell, which they might not. Deathrite Shaman. Okay, that's not very scary. They do get a Tali into the yard, though. I mean, we have an answer to this, but I think we just want to be jamming here. And I'm not even going to worry about them taking back the Monarchy. Like, if we had Palace Jailer and they were getting some creature, that's one thing, but let's just push damage here. Swing for 6. If they become the Monarch, they get to draw a card at the end of the turn. We'll just take it right back. There's situations where the Monarchy changing hands is a huge deal, especially when it is going to stay. Like, if you hit me and then I don't have any creatures and I don't have a way to take the Monarch back, that's a really big disaster. But in this case, like, we have lots of creatures. Like, if they draw a card, but then we take the Monarch back and also draw a card, it's not that big of a deal. They're also under a lot of pressure. I mean, do we just have lethal next turn? On board, we hit them for 6, then hit them for 4, then hit them for 3. So they are dead on board. If they put a Tali into play, that's a little scary, of course. We'll see what they hit, but we have multiple answers to it, so I'm not that worried about it. I guess if they like a Tali into our copy of the One Ring, even then we just Skyclave it, and like they get to draw a card and buy a turn, but like we can take out the One Ring and the Atali. Seeing them use the library has got to be good news for us. It means they don't have a clear play yet. Still have 4 mana up though because we have a fetch land in our graveyard that Deathrite can make mana out of. Would be pretty nice to beat a combo deck in round 1. Typically these decks struggle against combo. We do have some pieces of relevant interaction, which is nice, but like we don't have counter magic or discard, which are the traditional ways to break up combo. If they just hit us for 1 to become the Monarch, we're certainly happy with that. I mean, I guess they could go like they have Fire Covenant, maybe it gets dicey. Like we try to plus here, in response they Fire Covenant for 6 life. Okay. So they do want to make 4 mana. Dark Ritual, whoa. Hardcast Grave Titan. Fair enough. That's bad. That's definitely bad. Then they hit World Spine Worm. No. Okay, them hitting World Spine Worm, that is the problem. We would have been fine if they didn't have that. We'll say no. Leyline Binding. Okay, that's awesome. So, let's think about this. Hmm. So we have a few possibilities here. Very interesting spot. Leyline Binding costs 3, Static Prison costs 1. We have to cast them both. So, given that, we only have 1 mana left over. We can bolt. I don't think there's any way we could get a cheesy win. So, we could go. One option is go Binding, World Spine Worm, Static Prison, Atali, or vice versa. Probably vice versa, actually. Um, minus Minsc and Boo to kill the Metamorphosis Fanatic. And Prismatic Ending to take out the Deathrite Shaman. Just remove 4 of their creatures, leave them with the Rebel token, leave back our Rebel to block. I think I'm going to start with minusing Minsc and Boo. I mean, is there ever a world where we want to be plussing and attacking? Thing is, we need to take out this Metamorphosis Fanatic. Like, I don't really want to just let them have a 4/4 with lifelink. Like, if we're trying to race, like, the reason to plus and have a 7 power creature is if we're trying to race. But if we're hitting them for 7, but then they just gain 4 back, that's not that effective. So I think I'm going to minus this first. And the reason for this is we are hoping to find Mana Crypt. So let's kill the Metamorphosis Fanatic. Nice, we do find the Mana Crypt. So now we'll play it. Play Leyline Binding on the Atali. Land, then we'll go. Now because we have the extra mana, we can go Skyclave this and have 2 blockers back to preserve the Monarchy. I think that's better than. Yeah, I think that's better than like going for multiple removal spells here. Let's start though with the. Let's play around days, I guess, by playing this first. Then play this. And now we'll pass with 2 blockers up. Draw a card from the Monarchy. Like, they had a huge board, now their board's all gone. I mean, they still have 7 cards in hand with Library going. The game is far from over. But that's, pretty good. We took out. On their turn, they put, 4 plus 7 plus 15 plus 2. So 28 power into play. And then we just took out. We left them with just 1 Rebel token. Our hand does kind of suck, though, now. Black Lotus, well, alright. Let's see what they got here. We're on a bit of a clock because the Static Prison goes away in 2 turns. But with Minsc and Boo, we can rebuild very quickly. So we've gone through half our deck, haven't found any graveyard hate, but we still found a couple nice removal spells. I think Lightning Bolt's much better than these 2 cards in general, but in this specific spot, very nice to have just a 1 mana enter your World Spine Worm. And again, in their color combination, it's very tough for them to kill enchantments. They could maybe have a bounce spell, but like we're the one playing like Prismatic Ending type cards that are good against Static Prison. If they have Fire Covenant, it's pretty annoying. Because they could kill these. I guess they would have to choose between killing Minsc and Boo and taking back the Monarch. Either way, like we have a pretty powerful engine going. Opponent has 7 mana. We actually have exactly lethal if we somehow are able to get through. And we could prismatic ending, take out their blocker, bolt them down 8, and have 8 power from with the Minskin Boo. So we are threatening lethal, but of course they have 6 cards and 7 mana, so I don't think that's likely to remain true. Great first match. Hopefully not the last match. Alright, they do crack this thing. Wishclaw Talisman. So out of what we've seen so far, Fire Covenant makes the most sense for them to get. And then they could kill our Minskin Boo, but we would still be the Monarch. Like, that would not be that bad. Reanimation spell is not too scary. They just have a Metamorphosis Fanatic. If they have Show and Tell, then... and they Show and Tell Emrakul, we're in pretty bad shape. We don't have a clear answer to that here. We could maybe just, like, race, though, weirdly. Like, we have a lot of permanent sacrifice. I guess if we lose Mana Crypt Flips, that could be bad. But, like, we could potentially beat an Emrakul hit here. The thing we would Wishclaw for back is 4th Air Lingus, which is gone, unfortunately. Getting the 1 ring is not too effective against Emrakul, so if they do just set up Show and Tell Emrakul, I don't think we have any other good answers left in our deck. We don't have, like, Palace Jailer. I guess if we could find 2 cards, Flicker Wisp plus Containment Priest would do it. But we would have to get pretty lucky to pull that off. We would need to draw. I guess we would even get a couple looks. Oh, what? Wow, okay. So if they'd gone for it, we could go, like, Minskin Boo, sacrifice the hamster to draw a 2nd card, and then at the end of our turn with the Monarch, draw a 3rd card. So we would get 3 looks at finding the piece there. But yeah, wow, that was a crazy match. But you'll love to see it. Want to know? See you in round 2. We are on the draw for round 2 against Mandrill Man. Sadly, not lucky enough to win the die roll again, but I will keep this hand. The old 4 fetches plus a Flage. That is almost all the cards we need to put this in to escape this, so pretty nice. Imagine if these were all basics, Flage would look so bad, but instead Flage just looks phenomenal. Like, we can probably play escape it on turn 4. You know, turn 1, Prismatic Ending, then turn 3 Flage, turn 4, bring it back. We actually don't have that many fetchable lands in our deck, so we need to worry a little bit about running out. I'm going to start using my fetches immediately because I want to, like... I think we actually only have 4 fetchable lands, and we have 4 fetches, so... gonna try to just, like, minimize our chances of drawing... What? That is just crazy. I mean, I guess they're concealing information. They probably kept a 1-lander. Maybe they kept a 1-lander with, like... I don't even know what they could have had. I guess we have 5 fetchables, right? 3 plains, 1 mountain, and then 1 of the triome. So we had a little bit of room to spare for that sort of thing. But yeah, weird start, but I'll take it. Up a game against a deck that plays Mana Vault. I kind of want to play Leyline Binding again. It's good against stuff like if they Mana Vault out some big threat and then we just have the answer to it, then that's a good way to offset their advantage. Maybe Magd is a card that gets a little worse on the draw. Could also maybe cut Lion Sash, actually, because they're unlikely to be playing Reanimator. We just played against Reanimator. Yeah, I think I'll do this. I mean, of course, like, we don't really know what they're doing, so very speculative. But in general, like, when we're on the draw, we know we're not playing against Reanimator. Like, I'll err on the side of being a little bit more reactive. Yikes. No lander. Spells look good, but gonna have to ship it. I don't want them to mulligan into Oblivion, but if I'm going to be on 6, I'm good with them being on 6 as well. I don't make a big deal about this, but I try to, like, use gender-inclusive language, you know, like, say they, but if man is in their name, probably it's fine to call Mandrill Man a he. This is a pretty reactive hand. I will keep it. I'm gonna keep and put back Bolt actually. Um, I think it's one of the 3 red spells. I think Chainsaw is one I want to get down early. I'll keep the Flame Slash because it, yeah, I mean, Flame Slash versus Bolt is kind of a close call. And then we can grab a Triome with this. And, I mean, we don't have double white for Skyclave yet. I mean, this hand is pretty bad. It's definitely not a great hand, but I think it's better than 5. Let's see, they don't play a 1-drop. We draw Plains, so not a draw I'm happy about per se, but, like, at least it's better than a Mountain. It lets you cast your Skyclave. Hopefully we can just draw a lot of spells from here. So open a draw. Any 2-drop, probably Cloud would be the best. Or I think that's what it's called, the Stoneforge, off-brand Stoneforge. And Felly would be great. And then, of course, any of our actual top end, like Minsc and Boo, the One Ring, 4th Air Lingus would be excellent as well. I'm curious if anyone in the comments double queues. I kind of think they're double queuing based on the fact that they're just like paused here, and also the fact they conceded so early. Like maybe if they thought they didn't have a good chance of winning, and they're double queuing, they'd want to like be time efficient, but it's not the most respectful move. All right, opponent did decide to pass the turn. Hopefully there's a creature. I mean, that is pretty weak to Skyclave Apparition, but they get 1 turn with the extra mana here. And we're not going to get to play our Chainsaw. So all we have for fetches is 2 basic Plains left, so going to just crack this now to get one of them. Narset. Oh, okay, so we got pretty punished for not taking the Bolt, or for keeping Flame Slash over Bolt. That's rough. They grabbed Candelabra of Tawnos. Okay, not really a card I was expecting to see. I think I'm just going to Skyclave the Narset. I would love to take out this Everflowing Chalice. Actually, wait. Maybe we go Skyclave with Haste. So we can take out this and put the Narset to 1. It's a little risky because if they have a draw 7, we get pretty wrecked. But I think this is still the right line here. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we can't do that. Never mind. Okay, so whatever. Because we need double white. So we just play the Skyclave, and I don't want to give them another Narset activation, so I'm just going to take out the Narset. Yeah, definitely punished for keeping Flame Slash over Bolt. That was probably the wrong play. All we'd seen was basic Mountain Mana Vault, so I wasn't expecting them to have, like, I was expecting them to be more creature heavy, but they're not. Alright, let's go to combat, swing for 2. Then just play Glimmerlens. If Glimmerlens was a creature, we could play it with haste off of this, but that doesn't work. Like, it comes in with a creature attached, but the card itself is an equipment. But giving haste would have been nice because we get to draw a card. Okay, so they're using Candelabra to filter into double red. Maybe Blade Blast Fireball. Oh, Zerta. Okay, well, if we can kill that. Ooh. Okay, I was going to play Chainsaw. That seems a little bit better, though. I'm going to kill this now. I mean, weirdly playing this around like, we could play Minsc and Boo or Flame Slash around Spell Pierce. I don't think they're that likely to have it, and they don't. But I really want to get this off the board since it's a part of several infinite combos. But looking pretty good. I mean, we hit them for 8, draw a card, the One Ring, and now they're dead on board next turn, and there's not much they could even have. Like, they're pretty far away from a big upheaval. There's always some sequence that they could have. I mean, oh, well, we'll see. If they just have like a Storm combo they could get us. Memory Jar. Okay, so they can crack the Lion's Eye Diamond for 3 mana, then play Memory Jar and just try to find, they're just trying to find Underworld Breach. And they might be able to win if they have it. Grim Monolith, okay. Good thing we killed the Zerta, they would have had infinite mana. So they spin the top. They get 3 more looks trying to find Breach. Breach might not even win at this point, though. I mean, well, it probably would. They do find it, and now we'll see. Because they can play Lion's Eye Diamond, going down to 2 cards in their graveyard. But then they discard their hand, which puts them back up to 7. So, I mean, if they have Brain Freeze, they should be able to win here. They don't have enough cards in the graveyard to be casting like a Time Spiral or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, they already have a Storm Count of 5. The LED will take it to 6. And then they can discard their hand but be okay. So it really just depends on what they have here. They don't have it. That's great news. They can, I guess they can replay. They can play Time Spiral, though. Or Memory Jar, but you probably want to play Time Spiral. And now they're basically just trying to Time Spiral into Brain Freeze. And Storm Count will be 8, so they would have enough to do it. They just get, I mean, it's what? They'll have 22 cards in their library, and they see a third of them. So we just need to hope they don't find Brain Freeze. We don't even know they have Brain Freeze in their deck, actually, but they probably do. Alright, sweet. Weird match, but I'll take it. We get a quick 2-0 on to the finals. These guys haven't even finished their first game, but that's alright. I'll see you there. Back for the finals. On the draw yet again. Not a good roll of dice, but a great hand. I'll definitely keep it. We do have Mana Crypt and One Ring, which both deal us damage. But still, certainly a keep. I think we don't have an untapped red source to fetch, so we're probably going to crack this for a turn 1 tapped land. So we're not going to play turn 1 Lion Sash, basically. We'll just grab a Triome and then go for a big play on turn 2. I think probably just playing a 4th Aer Lingus for 2 is better. Obviously not happy to see turn 1 Soul Ring. We'll see what their play is here. If they just pass with mana up. Honestly, I think I'm just going to play Lion Sash. Don't really want, I mean, they're definitely going to have a counterspell here. There's just not that much point in like exposing Mana Crypt and jamming a threat. I don't want to get this into play if we're not able to get value off of it. Yeah, I'm just going to play Lion Sash. Not a very powerful turn 2 play, but again, like, this just never resolving, or at least I think it's unlikely to. Maybe they don't have anything. Alright. Flickerisp is kind of a nice draw with the One Ring. We can reset that. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. I guess we got punished, kind of. I mean, this is still not that bad, but it's pretty bad. They're definitely up on mana. And we draw another brick. Okay, I'll just kill this, eat it, and then attack. But yeah, that was annoying. I of course, knowing that they have Time Spiral, wish that I had played the Mana Crypt out. And I also, I guess, wish that I had played a fetch land so we could grow our Lion Sash again. But I think it's honestly fine to hold up the Bolt and just like eat the Time Twister in a turn if they don't do anything. But yeah, this is pretty bad. I mean, our hand is like, we have basically nothing other than this Minskenboo, which is probably not going to resolve. Definitely not a line that I was expecting to see there. Sure. Now, do we jam Minskenboo into their open mana here if they just pass? It just feels like there's a 0% chance that this resolves. Okay, having drawn a threat, then I definitely will just wait. I think we only have one more fetchable land, so unfortunately this Marsh Flats is dead. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably like 10% to win from here, honestly. Our hand is just so bad. Maybe their hand's bad too. We don't know what they have. I would be thrilled if they countered this, but yeah, of course they don't. Interesting draw. I'm going to actually start by attacking here. We have two removal spells for this, so my thought is they're pretty likely to block. Then we flage this. And then they countered the flage, and then we have bolt. I'm going to intentionally let them miscalc this if they have miscalculation. All right. This is why we did not just jam Minsc and Boo. And now we have Flage and Minsc and Boo both available, both of which are pretty solid plays. Minsc and Boo is higher impact, but they're both good. The problem is they have 5 cards still. What you got here? True Name Nemesis. We can race that, but it is kind of annoying. I think I'm going to play Flage first, actually. Kind of close, but it is the one they know about. It's also more exposed to, like, Graveyard Hate. I guess playing Minsc and Boo plays around Thoughtseize better. But also, Minsc and Boo can be attacked pretty effectively by the True Name. Oh, interesting. So that could take out the Soul Ring. I don't think Soul Ring actually matters that much, though, at this stage in the game. So I'm just going to go for the Flage. Alright, that resolves. I mean, they could kill it. So they can't attack. I mean, they can't attack profitably unless they can kill the Flage. If they do kill the Flage, I mean, if they kill the Flage and they counter our Minsc and Boo, then yeah, I guess they were in pretty bad shape. Hopefully they're not able to do that. Fair enough. Wouldn't hate drawing a land here so we can play both of our spells. Again, Marsh Flat's not a real land. Okay. We do have a card that we're very happy to discard, so plusing Liliana is not too bad, although if they are discarding like a reanimation target, that would be annoying. Just an island, okay. I'm just going to go for Minsc and Boo if we don't draw the land. And I guess Skyclave Apparition means we can also put Lutri into our hand, but that's not that big of a deal. We could also just draw like another threat that we would want to play. Looks like they are just like straight up blue-black control, not playing any combo shenanigans. True Name Nemesis is kind of good against us. We don't have any clean answers, but we can also just ignore it probably. I mean, it pressures Minsc and Boo, but other than that, doesn't do that much. Down to 15. Righto. Alright. So they presumably zero this, and now if we draw land, we can very effectively deal with both of their planeswalkers. Oh, bummer. Okay, I mean, I'm just going to go for Minsc and Boo here. It's just a lot more high impact than Skyclave Apparition. Well, that punishes our line. Now we're pretty dead, right? Because they get to hit us for 6. We can Skyclave this. I guess maybe with a flame. Oh, they also have this. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we can really win then. We're at 14. They get to hit us for 8, down to 6. Then even if we top deck something good, like... I mean, kill this. We have blockers, but they can kill our Skyclave with the Liliana. What are we hoping to find? Not really sure. Their deck looks pretty good. Just like a streamlined blue-black deck with a lot of good cheap threats and interaction. Of course, if they hadn't had the Soul Ring, I think this game would have been pretty easy to win, but that's off now. The Soul Ring games go. Alright, that's a lot of stuff. Take a draw set, but I think there's nothing that I'm drawing towards. Alright, GG. So we fall in game 1 to blue-black control. I think we're just going to run it back. Some of these burn spells look mid. I mean, like Lightning Bolt weirdly looks pretty bad. This, I mean, Chainsaw also looks pretty bad. I think I'm just going to run it back, though. Maybe we want this over Chainsaw. Yeah, I think that actually seems fine. Leyline Binding hits, it's much better against Oculus. It's also fine against their Planeswalkers. Honestly, I think this matchup should be fine. Like, if they have Soul, like a quick Soul Ring into Time Twister, or like their Bowmaster combo, that could be bad. I will keep this hand, hoping for no Soul Ring, of course. Nice. Magda, alright, I'll play that. I was planning on holding up Reprieve, but definitely down to try to get this into play. Might be the weird post-combat Minsc and Boo on turn 3. Okay, this is fine. Given that, I'm just going to... I mean, we could still get Minsc and Boo down, actually, but I think with Reprieve up, like, it just works pretty well to just kill this thing. I will fetch immediately to reduce the chance of drawing a Plains. Bolt their Magda. Then hit for 2 and pass with Reprieve up, and we can go for Minsc and Boo on turn 4. If they don't cast anything, I honestly think I'm fine just, like, playing a bit of draw go while we're making treasures every turn. Ooh, that's a nice one as well. Alright, cast Cloud. That resolves, that's pretty nice. Now I'll grab, I think just a Glimmer Lens, honestly. Cast it. And we still have Reprieve up because of the treasure tokens. Pretty good start. I mean, it's definitely not over. But even if we didn't have the Reprieve, I would think we're ahead here. And with the Reprieve, I think we're very ahead. If they don't play anything in a turn, what is their hand? Maybe they're just planning on trying to catch up with the Toxic Deluge. But they don't do anything yet again. I think I'm just going to jam this Minsc and Boo, honestly. I mean, like, we have Reprieve up. If they play... Oh, it resolves? What is going on? I'm very confused as to what the opponent could have here. They've just done nothing this game. Okay. I mean, we have reprieve. I'm just going to let this resolve, though. It still gave us a 4-4. Like, we have them on a 2-turn clock. We're getting to draw a card here. Just pass. Okay, that was not a very close game. I have no idea what they were holding. Yeah, that was just weird, but I'll take it. On to the finals, game 3 of the finals, as every league should end. So Orcus Bowmasters makes a couple of our threats worse on the draw. I mean, Cloud is fine. Magda becomes a lot worse. Flicker Wisp is also pretty bad. I think we just have to bite the bullet, though. Like, it's not like bringing in Death Greeter's Champion helps much with that. Mind Collapse does hit the Oculus, but that's not that good of an exchange. I think that's just not really the axis I want to be fighting on. So let's just run it back and hope that we draw Mana Crypt and they don't draw Soul Ring. We don't have any great turn ones off of Mana Crypt, unfortunately. We don't have like turn one Fable of the Mirror Breaker, that sort of thing. Our 3-drops are all not that sort of play. I guess our ideal draw would just be like turn 1 Felia off the Mana Crypt into turn 2 Minskin Boo. This actually could be a matchup for Field of the Dead. No, I don't think so, though. Especially because, like, we have a bunch of fetch lands, but the fetches are mostly just grabbing basics. So, like, I don't even know if we have that many different lands that are, like, real lands in our deck. Alright, reveal Lutri. This hand is good enough. It's not super exciting, but it is a keep. Can't kill Soul Ring on turn 1. We can kill it on turn 2, though, if they have it. Which they don't. Okay, I do want to draw a land here, and typically when I want to draw a land, I try to not fetch on turn 1, but I also want to grab the green source, so just going to lead on the Mesa here. Okay. This is a bit conservative, but I'm just going to take this out. Take them off of black mana. Well, not taking them off black mana for long. True Name Nemesis. Okay, we can probably erase this. Let's get the Magda down. Ooh, that's pretty bad. 2 True Name Nemesis. True Name Nemesis. I don't think we can brace this, honestly. We also can't attack with a Magda. Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's kind of a cool little synergy for them to have all these clones in their deck. I think I'm going to jam the One Ring here. I mean, I don't think any line is likely to lead to victory, honestly. But we'll try this. Like, maybe we could try to win if we get to a huge 4th Air Lingus. There's the 4th Air Lingus. Gonna be pretty hard for us to win this, though. They just have us under such a quick clock from the True Nemesis. Like, even if they played no spells for the rest of the game, there's a chance we would lose. We can't even really tap the One Ring, because then we're dead a turn quicker. They're 20. I'm trying to think of a way we could somehow choose a win. I mean, hopefully they forget about the protection and attack with the True Names. If they do that, then we can attack back with Magda, and the extra mana could make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a big difference. 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a big difference. 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or plus the treasure would make a huge... I mean, 2 damage plus Magda, or Send them both, dude. Don't you want to win the race? Put me to 9. I can't win from that position. Alright, whatever. Flage could help. I'm going to play Flicker Wisp to flicker the One Ring. And then I'm actually pretty fine discarding a card to hand size here. We could play this now main phase if we wanted to avoid that, but like I just don't think the cloud really matters, and it could help us to have the extra card in the graveyard to escape Flage a turn earlier, especially if we can find Arena of Glory. We need them to brick. Like, we definitely can't win if they have a good draw here. If they have, like, a bunch more interaction. Alright, they come in for 6. Sadly, the One Ring does not give us protection this turn because we didn't cast it. If we tap this and this, we go to 6 ourselves, which puts us dead to these, but then we have the Flage, so we have a chance at least to survive. Alright. We don't have lethal ourselves, right? I mean, we could go 4th Aerlingus for 4. That would give us 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 power. Pretty close, but not quite. So we need to try to survive one more turn. Ah. Well, yeah, we can't beat that. Man, alright. That's how it goes. Soul Ring plus Time Walk. Sometimes you get beat. Good league for sure. Would like to get the trophy, of course. But go into Game 3 of the finals is how you want it to go. Yeah, opponent's deck was very good. The Trina Nemesis plus Clone thing is pretty effective against decks that don't have board sweepers, and we didn't. So we do fall just short in the finals. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.